Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony and welcome to another BNA Sports Talk. This is the 10th episode already. That's crazy. And it looks kind of weird in the title. It's like 010. Anyway, so today I have a couple things I want to talk about. I don't really want to talk about the coaching hirings that much, but I'll start off with this. Mike McCarthy is most likely not getting a job, and that's kind of surprising. You'd expect like the Jets or the Browns or somebody with a young quarterback, maybe even the Cardinals, to sign Mike McCarthy, but that didn't happen. Now the only two teams are left are the Bengals and the Miami Dolphins to get coaches, and honestly, I don't see how Mike McCarthy would be a good fit for any of them, because the Dolphins are kind of in like a rebuilding. I think Mike McCarthy would do better in an already established or going to be established type of thing where they're on track. Miami and the Bengals are kind of feel like they're going downwards, and once they get a quarterback, Mike McCarthy would fit really well. So there's that. I'm not sure who the Bengals and the Cardinals would hire, but that's not my job. They do their own work and scout and stuff like that. So I also want to talk about the Chargers-Patriots game this weekend. So the Chargers are going up a completely different offense. The defense is going up a completely different offense. You had Lamar Jackson, where it's all smoke and mirrors, and they figured out the Ravens with their defense. They gave them different looks, and it was all smoke and mirrors. They weren't sure, so they gave Baltimore Ravens back their medicine. Now with Tom Brady, they have to have a completely new game plan. And you saw how they were able to adapt against the Ravens. I think they'll adapt against the Patriots and make it really, really interesting. And it's all going to come down to whether Phillip Rivers can make that play or two at the end of the game. So Bill Belichick's defense hasn't looked that great this year. They're ranked like in the 20s with their defense, which is uncharacteristic of the Patriots. They made it to the Super Bowl a couple years ago, I think, against the Falcons with one of the worst defenses, and they still won. And especially last year, they had one of the worst defenses too. But you only have one Pro Bowl. You have only one guy in Stephen Gilmore that can do anything on that defense. So I'm actually really worried about the Patriots in this game. Although they've been able to win these games, Phillip Rivers has some pressure on him. He needs to win this game. He needs to at least make it to the AFC Championship, like I've been saying, to even have some credentials like, oh, he had somewhat of a successful season. So Tom Brady doesn't really have anything really to play for. They haven't really looked that great. Usually they're the Patriots are that December team that gets hot. And what reminds me, what I thought of, remember a couple years ago when they lost home field advantage to the Broncos in like week 17 when Bill Belichick decided to defer in overtime against the Jets and ended up losing home field advantage. That kind of reminds me of what happened this year with Miami, how, they were one play away pretty much from gaining home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs. I think that will be their detriment because it's kind of ringing back to the 2015 year where Peyton Manning came back. Maybe Phillip Rivers is Peyton Manning, he's going on a Super Bowl ride, but I don't know. That kind of reminds me of that. And in the NFC, the Saints were undefeated. Well, pretty much. They were 9-1, and then they lost to the Cowboys. That's the same thing that happened when the Saints made it to the Super Bowl. Last time they made it, I think it was Super Bowl 44, 45 against the Colts. So I think the Saints are pretty much destined to go to the Super Bowl. We'll see this weekend with the Philly Magic if they can hold that. And that was so funny. Sean Payton going to his teammates, his his players, yeah, that's the word, and saying, "You want this fucking trophy? Yeah, win 3 more games." And he had like security guard. I could just imagine that scene. That would have been great. That I think that got the team really hyped up, and they're ready. He wants to humble them. It's like, hey, we've been playing shitty over the past couple weeks, and there's room for improvement. It's not like they're on some high horse or whatever. They know they can be had. They know they can be had. And especially with the Eagles now, they go, shit, they just beat the Bears. Oh, shit, they just beat the Rams and the Texans before getting here. This Foles guys is legit. So I think they'll be on their game. They had 2 weeks to prepare. Sean Payton's a really good coach, so I believe that they win this game. As far as the Rams-Dallas game, that's going to be a good game, I think. So it's all going to come down to who has a better running back, I think. Whose offensive line can create that steady run game and who can consistently pound the ball when needed. I think Dallas's front seven, you have Lawrence and the crew. You have Leighton Vander Esch in the back. I think that Dallas will have the better defense throughout this game, and they'll have the home crowd too. So I could see this being a very close game. I'm going to pick the Rams just to be safe because I don't like the Cowboys. And I think, although Dak Prescott is clutch in fourth quarters, if the Rams can establish Todd Gurley and their weapons, I think they'll be set. So, yeah, that's that game. As far as the Chiefs-Colts game, I said whoever wins this game will go to the Super Bowl. So, I think Kansas City has it pulled off. Andy Reid will have the troops ready. He doesn't want to... He knows the deal. Like I said with the Patriots and how they remind me of 2015, this team is different. If you look at their schedule in the beginning of the year, many people said they were going to go 8-8. They said 8-8 is this team's ceiling. 9-7 maybe. But, you know, they had some hard games this year. Think about it. What are the teams they lost to? The Chargers in a BS 2-point conversion. They lost to the Seahawks in primetime away at Seattle. They lost to the Patriots in Foxborough. And they lost to the Rams in a game that was supposed to be played in a different country. Okay? And you had the city in Los Angeles all riled up. That was like their only home game of the year. So, this will be Patrick Mahomes' first game of the playoffs, of his postseason career. It's a rematch of a couple years ago. I think Kansas City remembers that. They remember when they were up 35 or 28 points, whatever it was, and then they blew that lead. I think they'll remember that, come out strong. And the key to this game is the Colts offensive line, I believe. Whether Kansas City can get pressure on Andrew Luck. If he can get pressure on Andrew Luck and make him feel a little bit uncomfortable, you can make an interception or two, and you can make an interception or two, make him a little bit desperate. If the offense gets out to an early lead, they'll be forced to pass, and Andrew Luck may make a mistake or two if you get a little bit of pressure on him. I think it's possible for Kansas City to win by a touchdown or two, but realistically, I think they're only going to win by like 3 or 4 points, maybe. So I would say the final score would be like a 34-30. So that's my prediction for that game. As far as the rest of the games, the Chargers and Patriots, I think this is going to be a pretty low-scoring game, as each team will kind of try to fill each other out and be a little technical. So I think it'll be more like a 2017 game, going with favorites toward the Chargers. And the Rams and the Cowboys, another pretty low-scoring game. It's going to be like a 16-14. I think the Rams will be able to edge them out. And then for, what's the last game? Saints-Eagles. This one's going to be a gun show. It's going to force Nick Foles to be able to throw. And I don't believe he will be able to throw. I think it's going to be like a 40-24 game in the favor of the Saints. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Who's going to win this week? I was completely wrong last week. I was right in my first day, but I was completely wrong on my other 2 days. I was right on my first day, but I was completely wrong on the other 2 days. Well, the other day, not 2 days. The other 2 games that day. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this video. See you in my next one. Bye, guys. Before I really go, I want to mention the future of the series. I want to do at least 1 or 2 days where I do a lot of research into a video. These are kind of more casual, kind of back and forth. But I want to have I have an idea like who won the 2018 draft, like looking back on it. And I'm going to start doing recaps of the 2018 season for some teams. How did they do? What were their expectations? What did I think they'd do? What was like their over-under line? Yeah, so anyway, let me know what you guys think of that. And yeah, see you in my next video. Again, bye.